Welcome to Poetry with Shing, where we uncover the beauty behind poetry. The poem for today is In the Rearview Mirror by Robert Shaw, written in 1999, some time back but not quite. To begin, I'm going to start reading the poem In the Rearview Mirror. Thinking about them as you saw them last, you see them standing there behind your back, leaning out into the road to wave goodbye, lingering even as growing speed and distance diminish them until they neatly fit head to foot in the mirror strip you glance at. Tiny in your lengthening wake, still waving, they could be nameless people on a postcard, too far away for you to make out faces. Then, at the first turn, they're lost completely, places taken by someone's windbreak pines, a split rail fence, and then, as the wheel straightens, nothing but empty road. Ahead of you are towns where you will never know a soul, exits following exits you'll pass and never take, amassing a stiff toll finally to make good on. Fortunately, you carry along with you that higher-powered reflective instrument that you can use no matter how far down the road you've gone to bring them back in view as large as life, putting yourself in the picture too, which makes thinking about them as you saw them lasting. Okay, so we're gonna start. Maybe 5 seconds to digest what just happened. So look at the title, In a Rearview Mirror. So rear view, so it's probably something that you're leaving behind, and because it is what you see at the back. And also rear view mirrors are usually located in a car, so it's used to see what's behind you, and it's also a metaphor in this sense. It's an extended metaphor throughout the poem. To what purpose? We will see as we go. Thinking about them as you saw them last. First question, who is this them that you're talking about? Is it your loved ones, your family, those people that you hate, your enemies? Who are they? Thinking about them as you saw them last. Last as in previously, long time ago. So you're actually relying on your memory. So here's a big concept here, memory. Can take some time to take it down. You see them standing there behind your back. So you, it's a second person tone. It brings the reader's personal experience into this whole mix. So you see them standing there behind your back, leaning out into the road to wave goodbye, lingering even as growing speed and distance diminish them until they neatly fit blah 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 blah. So let's look at the third and fourth line first before we go on. Leaning out in the road to wave goodbye, lingering. So leaning, lingering, both actions actually suggest some kind of longing, some kind of reluctance to part. So here, it's some reluctance to part, and like missing a person. So leaning out into the road to wave goodbye, lingering even as growing speed and distance. So growing speed being the person's accelerating more quickly away from your life, and distance. So distance is dual meaning. First meaning is physical distance, second meaning is emotional distance, like you are slowly drifting emotionally from the person. Diminish them until they neatly fit head to foot in the mirror strip you glance at. So they neatly fit, it's like a photograph. They are already like, it's as if they are in a photograph. So head to foot in the mirror strip you glance at, it actually signals that from time to time you look back. Why? Because you are reluctant to see them go, and you're also missing them, and you long for the past. You're trying to seek solace in the past, seek comfort, and reside in the past instead of moving forward, because moving forward is more or less like going out of your comfort zone. Head to foot in the mirror strip you glance at, so it's like tiny in the lengthening wake. So lengthening wake actually refers to wake of a boat. So if you can see this tiny little drawing here, this is the wake of the boat. It's basically after the boat is has gone through that part of the water, there'll be ripples there. So in your lengthening wake essentially means that you're leaving further and further, and there's a trace that you're leaving behind. So still waving, they could be nameless people on a postcard, but they are not nameless people on a postcard. And also you realize that postcards are actually what we send back on our travels. So it kind of shows how the speaker plans to send back some memoirs. No, not memoirs. Send back some memories or like some souvenirs to the people of his past. And he's probably going on a travel, but this travel again is an extended metaphor, because the travel is not actually really, he's really not going to travel. He's actually going forward in life, traveling to the unknown and never coming back. They could be nameless people. But they are not So it actually shows how common people also face this. So nameless people, as in like, it's just like the common plight, the common fate of mankind, to keep having to leave people behind you as you continue to move forward, because change is the only constant. Very cliche, but yeah, it's true. And nameless people, you keep moving forward, and yeah, after a while you kind of forget who was in your life in the past, but when you look back you realize that lots have happened. And the speaker's probably trying to reflect on that as well. So tiny in your lengthening wake, tiny, so it shows that the impact that they made in your life is probably not that great. So size matters. Too far away for you to make out faces is really blurring. Your memory is failing you. You can't really remember their faces anymore. Then at the first turn, obviously it means like the first major milestone of your life after you've left them. They are lost completely. You've completely forgotten about them, or you can't even see them anymore. So it's so much time has passed already. Places taken by someone's windbreak pines, so they're blocked by someone else's trees. And windbreak pines are actually trees planted to prevent crosswinds on roads, so it's for safety, I guess. But these safety like trees actually block the memories, or like block your last opportunity to keep your loved ones in sight. A split rail fence. So split rail fence, here it is, this tiny little drawing. And then as the wheel straightens, nothing but empty road. So nothingness, the feeling of emptiness. So it is actually, the empty road is actually kind of a symbol for loneliness, alienation, and fear. And this empty road actually shows that there's nothing much that you can expect. It's just empty. So it actually symbolizes an endless journey. Nothing is holding you back, and also an endless journey as in like it will just keep continuing. This cycle will just keep happening, and there's nothing much that you can do about it. Ahead of you are towns where you will never know a soul. So it is this repetition of a negative. At first it's empty road, then never know, and then before that it's lost completely. It's lots of negativity. Ahead of you are towns you'll never know, so exits following exits. So a lot of repetitions, like exits, I think in this sense is like opportunities in life for you to change course. And then all these opportunities you will never take, amassing a stiff toll finally to make good on. So toll, actually there's two meanings to it, because you're driving here, so toll is like the one that you pay for taxes, and then the other toll that I've written here is pay for life with death. So it's like a price you have to pay for taking this road of life. Finally to make good on. So how do you pay this toll? Obviously it's when you die. Fortunately is the volta in this poem, is the turn, is the climax. You carry along with you that higher powered reflective instrument. So you realize this higher powered reflective instruments is actually more powerful than the rear view mirror, but actually the poet is trying to talk about the rear view mirror. So why did the poet not want to talk of this rear view mirror? Why did he not want to state it so explicitly? It's obviously because he refuses to admit that there's a possibility of using a rear view mirror to look into the past. Okay, so higher powered reflective instrument that you can use no matter how far the road you've gone. So no matter how far the road you've gone, you can still use this really, really powerful thing. I think not only is the high power reflective instrument the rear view mirror, but also memory. Use memory to bring back your loved ones in view as large as life. So, and you're also able to put yourself in the picture too, because in your memory you are there. And also note another thing is that in a rear view mirror, when you look up, you can see yourself in the mirror as well as the things behind you. So there's a dual meaning here, putting yourself in the picture too. And you realize that putting yourself in the picture is something that's different from what was previously said at the start of the poem, which is you see at the start of the poem, the speaker only sees them, the loved ones, but now in his memory he sees himself there as well, which makes thinking about them as you saw them lasting. So it shows foreverness, and you realize that there's a wordplay at the start of the first the first line says last, the last line says lasting. So is there wordplay here? What's the purpose of it? You can think about that and realize that this whole poem is just one stanza. So what's the meaning of it as well? Maybe it may mean like you only have one chance in life, maybe. So that's all for In the Rearview Mirror by Robert Shore. If you would like to hear another poem being analysed, comment the poem and poets in the comments below.